Whew. Starting to look like a clubhouse up in here. I went crazy yesterday framing a bunch of stuff. I didn't even turn the camera on. I was just kind of on a mission, trying to get this together. It is coming together. I think I would like to start working on framing up some doors. I start milling siding and adding siding to this. I want it as framed up as I can get it first before we start adding the walls. These are my two halves of the log I cut in half. It's gonna be pretty heavy duty. I think this is gonna work out good. I'm noticing here I need to add a couple supports in here because these doors are gonna be quite heavy. Definitely need a support right there. That's kind of wobbly. So I need to add a support. I left these posts tall, so I still have to trim them, but I left them tall so I can add cross members in here to support the roof. Not only are these going to support the door, they're also going to be supporting my roof hangout here. This one I left tall to do the same thing. See how my roof is hanging out 3 or 4 foot. So that would be wobbly if you stood on it. So I made that post tall so I can add a cross member in there to attach it also to that post to support that corner there. That one's going to be supporting the roof and the walls. Same with this one, the roof and the walls. I also left these kind of tall so I could do the same thing. Add a cross member to attach it to that to support the roof there on that corner. Same with that one. So I still have quite a bit of framing to do to the roof. The main focus I want to focus on today is creating doors. Getting warmed up this morning, especially mentally trying to get creative and figure out exactly how I'm gonna do these. This will probably be different than you've ever seen doors framed up before, hopefully, because that's how I like doing it, just off the top of my head and being creative with it. We put our front wall boards, beams up yesterday. As you can see, that tree, like I was saying, is gonna be outside. These 2 trees here, 2 matching trees, are gonna be on the inside, as you can see now. Framed up the wall where I can walk around just in case I wanna work on another side of the generator or whatever I'm working on. I don't have to spin it around to work on it. I can fit right through here. Same on the other side. We can fit through there. Once we frame up that wall or put the walls up, we can fit through there to work. We can get around 3 sides of my big old workbench. I think this is really cool because that's the size of the generator shed that I was going to build. Just these 4 posts here and that with a roof. That's how I started out building this. That was my first idea. These 4 posts were going to support the walls. After I built that, then I started thinking more creatively, and I noticed these trees were out here, and I was just like, wow, I could make this shed actually really big, where you can actually have stuff in there, like your tools, and turn this into more of a generator workshop, gas engine workshop, whatever I want to work on. It'll also be a generator shed, a huge hush box. But this is looking pretty awesome. And here's the other side. It is coming together. Creative oak boards that I milled a while ago. think they are pretty straight. I think they're straight enough. That one's kind of bowed. Oh, make sure there's no black widows under there. That's pretty straight. These are pretty heavy duty. I'm hoping they're dry enough to when, if I cut them in half, hopefully they won't bow or go crazy. But I do believe we're gonna use these to frame up a door. I have these 4, they're, I don't know how long they are, about 14 foot. I think that's plenty long enough. So we're gonna start playing with these today. See what we can come up with. These are super nice. I'm still thinking. I got my mind rolling how I'm gonna do this. I'm not exactly sure yet. Got some super heavy hinges. I have 4, 2 for each. I might end up going to get 2 more and adding 2 more to really make sure they hold up. Enough talking. Just gonna take some wood over here and just start playing around and get creative. See how creative we can make some barn doors. All right, now I can go up there and mark it where we need to cut it. Oh yeah. All right. That is a start. And we're gonna turn this board into 2 boards. Rah! Sit that. I need my other log over here again. So we want to cut this right in half. Now we're going to have 2 7-footers. One there. One thing I'm doing is I'm being real careful about my screw placement because I have a lot of cutting to do and I don't want these screws in the way of my cuts. Now we'll put the matching one on the bottom. Alright, that's the bottom and the top and the 2 sides. Oh yeah, right in the middle here. 8 foot. Need us an 8-footer. That is a very good start of a door, y'all. Those 2 openings. This is going to be 2 doors, 2 barn doors that we're building first, and then we're going to cut it into doors. It's kind of easier this way, but also more difficult. I really have to watch where I put my screws. With a heavy barn doors like this, you really need support at an angle pretty much of 45. You want it from the outside bottom to the inside top. I just cut me a log in half. We're going to use this log here like this. We're going to try to give this some serious support. And I cut it in half because I want them to match. I have the same log. You know how it is. Mark the bottom here cut this off. Sharpened this thing yesterday, and just cutting them 2 pieces of oak in half already dulled it because that oak is so dry. I'm gonna put this in here like that. This is gonna give us some support like that. Now we gotta figure out how we're going to match up this other one. Maybe something like that. So we'll put a screw in here to temporarily hold that. There's another thing I'm trying to figure out is where I'm going to mount my hinges. So we're going to be playing around a bit. Temporarily add that one. Something like that. Cut that there. There we go. Something like that. Now we got to figure out some hinges, how we're going to mount these. And I was thinking they might end up kind of behind this for some extra support. So I think the next thing I need to do is kind of mark my cut lines. Mark where I'm going to put my hinges. All right, I drew my lines here. I used a level. These lines I did with the level, they I think are going to be my cut lines. There's kind of an idea of my hinge placement there on the bottom, and then you can see my cut line here in the middle, where I'm going to cut the middle in half to turn it into 2 doors, and then my hinge line over here that I'll cut. I think that looks pretty good. What do y'all think? And once we add our boards on the inside, that's kind of what the outside's going to look like. Have some pretty boards on the inside, and then the outside you'll see the frame. I think that looks all right for a whole little generator shed. Unfortunately, when I bought the hinges, I wasn't sure about what kind of fasteners or bolts or lag bolts or what I wanted to use, and I honestly still kind of don't. wood light bolts to go all the way through with nuts on the inside. So I'm gonna do a couple measurements. I gotta measure kind of the thicknesses. I know a couple places, even to attach this wood to the frame, I would like to use bolts because screws like to break. Nails are too long. So I definitely need some bolts for that. I need, yeah. So I'm gonna sit here, do some measurements, write down some sizes and lengths that I think that I need. And then I gotta ride somewhere like Lowe's or Tractor Supply, get some bolts. We got lag bolts, we got 3-inch bolts, and we got 1.5. For my calculations, we're gonna need all of these to bolt these barn doors together. All right, so I drilled my holes for my bottom hinge here. I'm just gonna start cutting. I'm gonna do one hinge at a time. So I'm gonna make this cut here on my line, mount that hinge, and then move on to the others. I think we're gonna go ahead and do the hinges first. I have to think it through as I go, but this is definitely where I'm starting right now though. I'm gonna start on this hinge. So I'm gonna make this cut, see how this works out. We've got our big hinge. So that's how we doing it. I went ahead and cut my opening there, then put the hinge on. I'll go ahead and put them in there. One more bolt in that. And then I'm gonna wait and do this one after I put my inside board up. Then I'll fasten this through that board, through the hinge, and through this. That'll make it super secure. And I think I want to cut this at an angle. I got to be real careful not to hit my hinge with the chainsaw, but I definitely want to cut this at a little bit of angle and make it look cool. That's how we're doing it. And then once I'm ready and these doors are all bolted together and ready, I'll finish my cuts all the way through. But for now, we're gonna go ahead, get our hinges on and add bolts in some of these corners to stiffen it up. That's how we're doing it. And these lag bolts are going through this wood into the post in the back. So there's gonna be a lot of support for it. Let's see if we can get these in here now. Where's my piece of wood? Where's my wood hammer? We used every bolt, the 3" and the 1.5. This is all we have left is these lag bolts that I haven't used yet, but I'm sure we will. Bolted all the corners of the doors, put bolts in them to make sure those are secure. I really wish I'd have got more bolts. I could really use more. I'm gonna have to get more. I need a couple here, a couple here, a couple in here, one here. There's some other places too, but I'm definitely gonna need some more bolts. I kind of cut the top here down about halfway. I can tell it's a tiny bit flimsy. So before I finish cutting this, I definitely want to add my boards on the inside to stiffen up the doors. I cut these all the way down where these hinges are attached. I don't have this hinge attached yet, so I didn't finish this cut. I left that holding for me. Cut this whole side here. So these are almost functioning doors here. All I got to do is finish cutting this all the way down the center, cut that notch from here to here, and we'll have functioning doors. Now I'm gonna add some boards in here that I have. I really hope I have enough to cover these holes. If not, we'll get creative and we'll use some stuff we have laying around, because this is just a generator shed, really. It's looking pretty dang awesome. So that's what's up. I'm gonna start adding some boards in here. I need to do some measurements to see about how long, tall I need them. I think the boards are gonna go straight up and down on the inside, so it'll attach to these and these, and I think we'll stiffen this up quite a bit, because that is just a tad bit flimsy, especially up there where that hinge isn't attached to anything yet. See, this part isn't quite as flimsy as that. I guess I'm gonna do a measurement, cut a board, and then I'm thinking we're just gonna trace this, cut it with the jigsaw, make it match. Dang right, I'm excited. This is coming along good. How about that? Tell me that's not gonna look cool. I'm gonna trace these curves along that outside I'm gonna trace it, and look how tall they are. Way tall. So I'm gonna mark where I need to cut it there to cut it, and then I'm gonna trace these, and then we're gonna cut it with the jigsaw and then put it back just like that. Same with the other side. Cut it, we're gonna mark it where we need to cut it to the height. Then we're gonna mark these curves with a marker, cut it with a jigsaw, put it back, and then probably just overlap a board on the inside just to cover up that big gap. Hopefully we'll just be able to leave that live edge. I think that'll look really cool. And then we'll try to do the same thing on this one. Here's what the inside's looking like. Looking pretty cool. Starting to look like a door. I love it. I mean, we might have a little bit of gap or whatever, but I guess I'm not too concerned with that. Alright, let's take this one down and cut it. Oh yeah, I like it. I like it. Clean up some tools. I thought I was really gonna get these doors finished today. I have worked my butt off all day on this. I mean hardcore. I've been working on this non-stop. Got a couple more. Oh, I need to add a couple screws here. But The point is, here, we ain't opening these things tonight. I still got to finish my cut, but I don't want to finish this cut or this cut because this hinge right here isn't attached. That one ain't attached at all. Definitely want that attached. I'm gonna have to add a board inside for that to bolt to. Possibly this one too. This one should be good with this solid thing here and a bolt. That's one thing, I need more bolts. I calculated a good amount of bolts that I needed. I miscalculated about 4, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I miscalculated at least 10, if not more. I hate to say it. We're not opening these doors in this video. And I have really worked hard trying to. I was trying to get it there, but at least we got it covered. I think it looks pretty cool. I still have more to do to it. It is gonna look nicer. I'm gonna trim some of these edges better, I believe. This one's kind of straight up and down. I might do a cut here to make it match or not. Just leave it that part. But we got doors. We don't know if they work yet, or you don't. I'm pretty confident that these doors are gonna work. I definitely want to sturdy these up more. I'm gonna let this video roll because I got a lot to do tomorrow. I don't even know if I'm gonna get back on this tomorrow. But very soon we're gonna have some barn doors that open here. I just gotta cut this down, add a few bolts. And we're gonna start working on some walls. We're gonna start working on walls. I really wanted to do the doors now. Go ahead and frame it up, get it done. I'm known for building something like the other generator shed, and I'm like, I'm gonna build some doors eventually. I never got to it, so I was like, I'm gonna go ahead and do the doors before I do the walls and the roof. That way when we do the walls and the roof, we already have doors and I don't have to come back to it and build the doors. Honestly, if I did all the walls, finished the walls and the roof, and had this open doorway, I would have actually still been happy with it. That's my problem. Like the way the other generator shed is, just open in the front and the back, I'm actually happy with it. So to me, it's finished, even though eventually it would be cool to add, you know, a door to it. And maybe this will motivate me to go do that, because I have some good ideas for the back, the exhaust, and I don't want to talk about that. I want it to be a cool video when I do it. Here's the inside. Very rustic looking. I need to add kind of a couple supports up here. I'm gonna have to cut them in a way where they're cool and decorative, but I need to add some supports inside to bolt those hinges to. Possibly 3 of them. We'll see what happens. This side so far I just have 2 hinges. I have this other hinge. I have 3 on this side. I kind of wish I'd have measured and actually put that more in the middle. I guess I still could. I could add a third one on that one, but that one's a lot shorter. I might actually return this thing. I don't know. What do you think? Should I add that one over here and lower that one? We'll just have some holes from the bolts there, but it's gonna be a big old rustic generator shed anyway. But I think these doors look awesome. I do hate that we're not gonna be able to open them, but I do not want to finish cutting and all that and have them all flimsy without them, especially that top hinge bolted. That would just, on the high side over here, that would really suck to cut it and not have that hinge supporting and just have it flimsy. I'm not doing it. I gotta have that thing bolted and secure before I finish my cuts. But it is what it is. It's supposed to dang rain tomorrow, so I gotta pick up all these tools, put them away. Man, I was really hoping I'd have these things swinging tonight, but I miscalculated my bolts. We just ain't there yet, but we're getting there. I mean, we have come a long way. Look at this thing. And the more I start adding boards to the walls and everything, the cooler it's freaking gonna be. I got a lot to do tomorrow. I probably won't even get back to this thing tomorrow. It'll be a couple days. But when I do get to it, we going strong. I'm about to cut down a tree, start milling all kinds of boards for the walls. The boards I used for the doors were just boards I had laying around for a long time, actually from the deck that I built in the cabana garage thing. And I had them laying around, so I just used them, threw them on there. Thanks for watching. I hope I'm not disappointing y'all too bad by just getting this far and not being able to open them. But you know, it is what it is. I'm just living, working. I'm just living, working, and going with the flow of life, and just trying to make things happen and stay positive and keep the dang right channel freaking going. You know, I'm trying to pump them videos out because I'm a broke ass redneck out in the woods, and I got to keep that revenue up. So all the likes, subscribes, all the views, sharing, I mean, everything just helps a brother out. You know what I mean? I have other ways help a brother out in the description for people that are high rolling and they can do that. You know what I mean? If you can't, then don't worry about it. You know, we alike. You know what I mean? We all broke. Anyway, I love y'all. I'm just kidding around, having fun, doing what I love to do. I wish I could have got further, but it is what it is. It's getting real cloudy and late. I need to go get me some dinner or something, because I don't feel like cooking. So I might have to roll up to the gas station and get me a little something. Whoo, buddy. Get all that back there. Starting to clean this place up, make it cool. What's up, Auroras? What's up, girls? See y'all later. I got more coming. Hopefully we'll finish something around here.